Hi, I'm Sharon Spangler and welcome to Reno TV. We're going to discuss a topic which unfortunately a lot of people in our community can relate to. We're going to talk about foreclosures and the fact that there is help available in this community. And with me right now is Jody Royal Goodwin. Welcome to our program. She is the Community Reinvestment Manager and actually works here at City Hall. And next to her is Jill Perry, and she is the Northern Nevada Director of Consumer Credit Affiliates. First off, what is that?
Because we are a nonprofit, 501c United Way partner agency. We help people manage their money. We do credit counseling, budget counseling, debt repayment plans, and of course we're a HUD-approved housing counseling agency, so we can help them figure out what to do with their home. We can work with the lenders for loss mitigation, help them transition out of their home if that is the only viable option. Plus, we also help people get into homes. We do some down payment assistance and how to buy a home class, a free class on how to do that. So we're kind of a full service, anything about money management, we are there.
Will you get any sleep? You must be working 24/7 because I don't know anybody that doesn't have money problems right now.
Yeah, I'm very popular lately. A couple of years ago, people didn't want to talk about money problems, but nowadays it is the #1 subject out there for anybody, whether you're making, literally I have clients that make over $1 million a year that are having crisis, believe it or not.
Well, I can imagine because if you're making that kind of money, you're spending it.
Yes.
Right. And so Jody, first off, what do you do?
Primarily, I manage federal grants for the city, and that includes some housing-specific grants. And while I don't specifically have funding available to assist with the foreclosure issue, I do help arrange and participate in activities that are designed to help mitigate foreclosure, assist residents that have foreclosure issues or at risk of foreclosure. So the range, again, of the housing side on the non-client specific aspect of it.
Jody and Jill are here to talk about an upcoming sort of foreclosure fair, but before we get into the details on that, do you have the latest numbers on where Northern Nevada is with foreclosures?
I do. For Washoe County specifically right now, we have about 6,500 properties that are either have been foreclosed upon or are at risk of foreclosure. That means they're in default on their mortgage but might not have been served a notice of trustee sale. Unfortunately, the number that are at risk of foreclosure right now is actually higher than the number that is in foreclosure. So we have 2,700 properties right now that are in default on their mortgage. We actually have 1,600 or more than 1,600 properties that are going to auction, and another 2,100 that are currently bank owned. So the numbers are high, and unfortunately Fernley is, proportionally right there with us. So we are targeting both with this event, both areas, the Fernley area as well as Washoe County.
And is Fernley worse than Washoe County or about the same?
I don't know their total housing number, so I can't tell you exactly percentage-wise, but they have 400 homes for their community that are in foreclosure or at risk of foreclosure. So the number seems small, but I'm thinking that their housing inventory is probably not above 2,000, so right. It's getting pretty close to 20% of their housing stock is probably at risk.
How do you describe a person who is at risk of having their home foreclosed upon?
Primarily, in this case, it's because they're late on their mortgage.
Okay,
so
the
the
bank
bank
missed a payment or two, or does it have to be like 6 months where you're really at risk?
No, you could miss one payment, you can miss 2 payments. That kind of depends on the bank that you're working with, because then they would issue a notice of default, and that would be recorded as well, and that's how these numbers are derived.
But there's also people who are not in default at this point, haven't missed, but they could be at risk because their situation changed. So when we talk to our clients, it's kind of more of, is there an imminent danger going in default? So maybe today you're making a payment, you've been making it all year, but you've drained your savings. And now there's no more savings. You can make the April payment, but we don't know what's going to happen in May. So you are literally at risk to going in default, but are current.
So many people are hand to mouth right now, paycheck to paycheck, and with the economic situation, I know that they say nationally the people are hiring, which is good news, but I think Reno and Northern Nevada is kind of falling behind the national average, and we're still facing layoffs. A lot of people are still facing layoffs.
We are. We're better than some parts of the state. We have created some jobs, 450 jobs, in January. So there's some shining light down at the end of this tunnel. But without the unemployment rate going down significantly, as Jill said, the number of kind of people who are out there at risk but not recorded anywhere as at risk officially, that number is incredibly high until we can have some job security.
Both of these ladies are going to be at an upcoming foreclosure event, and who wants to give us the details? When, where, free?
It's going to be at the end of this month. It's open to the public. It's over at the Reno Convention Center. It's on the 30th, Saturday the 30th, 9 in the morning till 5 at night. What we've done is the cities have gotten together and asked the state task force on foreclosure prevention for maybe some help locally. And what the task force did is invited the lenders to come in and actually participate. It's a major event where the lenders will be there talking to the clients, helping them submit their application packages to see if they can get some help, some resolution to their financial situation, to walk them through the process. We will be there as counselors, will be there to really help them negotiate through the process, maybe explain some of the alternatives, and really see if we can do something. A couple of years ago, we had a lot of people who were interested in getting housing assistance. Unfortunately, the system was tedious, it wasn't set up properly, and a lot of people got discouraged and they were denied help. And now their situation's the same or gotten worse, and they just don't even want to try anymore. And we want them to understand that there really is help out there. And even if you've been turned down in the past, let's try one more time, because you know what? You can't give up hope. There is help. And we want to get to those people who maybe just got kind of fed up. I know it's discouraging to hear it all day long. Unemployment's down, there's more foreclosures, we don't know what's happening with the budget. And we want those people to come out and really apply, because it helps all of us if people can keep their homes.
So the banks are doing more these days to try to help people stay in their homes versus walking away from them, because you hear every day about people who put their keys in the mail and literally send them to the bank or walk away in another way.
They are doing more. And it wasn't that they weren't doing it in the past. I don't think they had their systems in place, to tell you the truth. It took a long time for the financial institutions to really figure out what they're doing, to see the scope of it. And I think there's more guidelines and there is more help out there. We as an agency have been very fortunate. We have a portal through Fannie Mae and a couple lenders where we can actually help the client submit the applications directly to the lender. We thought in the past we've heard, oh, from the lenders, the borrowers aren't doing what they're supposed to do. And kind of hear from borrowers saying, wait, the lenders are not listening to me. It's amazing when we're on the other end of it, seeing what's coming in, that there's a lot of mistakes being made. And I think a lot of people have been turned down, not because they didn't qualify, but because the process was so cumbersome and they really didn't know how to go through it. So that's where the counseling agencies come in and really help people walk through the process. Now I know the paperwork's astronomical, and literally each application's about 150 pages of documentation.
That would be very discouraging.
It would be, but we can walk you through that and help you gather that. And once people see what it takes, you know what, we can get some positive answers. We've been very successful lately. So it does work. It's just that you can't give up. You got to keep trying.
Right. It might take ever.
What role is the city going to play at this event?
We're a sponsor, so like I said, I've been working with the committee that's arranging the event, making sure we have the venue, which is the Reno Sparks Convention Center, make sure we have all of the items that we need to make that function for both the clients and the servicers. So we'll have the servicers there, and as Jill said, they'll be able to help people connect with their servicers and their lenders, and then the servicers will actually be able to meet with the clients that are on site. And so we have a list of documents that if you're coming for assistance, they would need to bring with them. We'll have, arranging to make sure the copiers are there, to make sure the originals go back with the owner, and the bank gets to keep the copies and has everything they need, so nothing gets lost in the mail, so to speak.
So this is a serious event. I mean, people are really going to be able to walk away feeling, I've gotten some serious help, as long as they bring the necessary paperwork. That's half the battle. How do they find out what they need to bring?
They could call Reno Direct and get the list of information. It'll also be posted on our website. Now that the flyer is final, it'll be posted on our website, and they'll be able to get it through any of the social media avenues that the city uses.
Great. And so you're going to be there just to make sure everything goes great.
Yeah, to help with the actual space and the logistics of it all.
Who else is involved?
Consumer Credit, as well as Washoe Legal Services, and is Nevada Legal Services?
Nevada Legal Services, a senior law project.
Yeah. Fannie Mae will be there, the Nevada Foreclosure Prevention Task Force, as well as the Fight Fraud Task Force, and we believe the Nevada Hardest Hit Fund will be represented as well to give presentations. The servicers that we're sure will be in attendance will be Bank of America, JP Morgan Chase, Citi, GMAC, Litton, Saxon, and Wells Fargo at this point. But I actually got contacted by another lender yesterday who's interested. And so if there are lenders out there who have clients at risk in this market, they would be invited to come and provide that service as well. And in addition, we are looking for volunteers to help the clients figure out where to be, when to be, and make everything run smoothly as well.
If someone wants to volunteer, who should they call?
Me, probably.
So
at this
put
point.
your number up on the screen.
Yeah, that's fine.
In addition, there's also going to be seminars going on, so perhaps while somebody's waiting, there will be presentations being made explaining the different options in the programs so that they're getting information, not just meeting with somebody one-on-one, but hearing all their options. A lot of people just want to know, what's out there, what options are being made available to them.
I think probably one of the biggest problems that people have is just that intimidation of even going to their banker, feeling like they have access to their banker. So I could see where this would be a real advantage if you've got the buy-in of all these banks that are going to show up.
Yes. I think it does take the stigma out, is you're not the only one. We're all in this together. I mean, whether we're experiencing the foreclosure or we're putting on events like this, we're all still a community, and we still need to work together to help each individual household stay as stable as possible.
And there's a lot of myths out there. There's also a lot of predators out there trying to take advantage of homeowners. I mean, literally every day I'm getting some kind of mail saying, we're going to sue your lender, become part of this. Contact this 800 number, and for a small fee,
Right.
you can stop making your mortgage payment, and we're going to keep you in your home. And a lot of people, when you get desperate or you see them and they look very official, oh, how do they know I have a loan? How do they know what what this is? And it's actually public knowledge, and most people don't realize that. But there's so much out there where people are just being bombarded with incorrect information.
Isn't that, it's so sad that people prey on people when they're at their worst moment of their life, facing the possibility of losing their homes. It's terrible. We've been talking to Jill and Jody about an upcoming event that really sounds like it's going to help people who are facing foreclosures or who may be in danger of a foreclosure down the road. And again, let's mention the program and where and when.
So it's Help for Homeowners Foreclosure Assistance Event, and it is April 30th from 9 a.m. to 5 p.m. at the Reno Sparks Convention Center. Parking is free.
And the event is free to get in?
The event is free.
Should people call and make an appointment ahead of time if they want to get in? Or?
They actually do not need to call and make a reservation of any kind.
But they should go online at the City of Reno's website and find out what they need to bring, because that sounds like that's crucial.
The list is very lengthy and in-depth. Or they could call Reno Direct and they'll be able to provide them the information as well.
And they still need lots of volunteers, and they're still open to lenders, coming in who may have some people in this community that are being affected. And Jill, quickly, it sounds like you are just doing a yeoman's job of helping people who are facing, you know, a debt crisis or a possible foreclosure. If someone is watching this program, doesn't want to go to or can't go to the foreclosure event, how do they get a hold of you?
They just give our office a call, 337-6363. We do appointments by phone, face-to-face, internet. We do everything in English and Spanish. We work Monday through Saturday, and if they can't make the event, come on in. Even if they go to the event, they may want to just come in and talk to somebody about all of their other situations. A lot of what we do is just kind of walk them through all of their options, because it's an overwhelming decision of work to do, and you know, everybody's not sure what the right answer is.
And I think having an event like this, as you mentioned, sort of takes the stigma away from it, because people can see that there are a lot of people in this community who are unfortunately facing foreclosures. And again, this event is open to people who live in Washoe County, Reno and Sparks, and also to Fernley residents.
Actually, it's open to anybody.
Anybody. Oh,
who
that's great.
who is in the area and one of these services could help.
Thank you, ladies. Good luck with your event. Thank you for joining us. And thank you all for joining us on Reno TV.